Hello again. Ever since Winston Churchill got such mileage out of being a wartime prime minister, being photographed in semi-military outfits during the Second World War, prime ministers who succeeded him have somehow had the idea that posing in this way as a wartime prime minister impresses people. One remembers with pleasure Margaret Thatcher riding on a tank, as she may be seen doing in the thumbnail to this video. She also managed a landslide victory in the 1983 general election, following a very successful small war off the coast of South America. Being a wartime prime minister certainly did her some good. Since then, other prime ministers have tried the same stunt with varying degrees of success. Tony Blair was very keen on going to war in a lot of different parts of the world, and this was probably responsible in part for his three successive general election victories. After the attacks on the World Trade Center, he managed to appear as a man of international destiny, prepared to fight in Afghanistan and Iraq and anywhere else the Americans wanted without a moment's hesitation. Keir Starmer now seems to have fallen into the same habit and has started talking as though he too is a military leader. A few days after the riots began in the north of England, Starmer convened a Cobra meeting and emerged saying that we will have a standing army of specialist public duty officers. This caused raised eyebrows, using the expression standing army in connection with the police in this way. And the obvious explanation was that he hoped to conjure up images of soldiers so that we would see how determined and tough he was. He went on to say, of course, that he was going to, and I quote, ramp up criminal justice. Since the judicial system has nothing whatever to do with the government and is completely independent of it, this made him sound like a third world dictator, what with talking of his army beforehand. We are now seeing talk of operations as though Starmer is planning to invade some country or other. Operation Early Dawn sounds like a daring commando raid on the coast of France, although of course it really only concerns overcrowding in prisons. This move was actually instigated in May, but Rishi Sunak didn't announce it in this way, using militaristic jargon. We are now hearing that Operation Brinker is on the cards in a week or two. I understand why Starmer is talking like this, of course. He is an essentially grey and uninteresting man who looks as though he might be a civil servant at the Department of the Environment. He obviously feels that it'll be good for his image if he can project himself as a man establishing a standing army and launching Operation Daybreak or Operation Sea Lion or whatever it is. Perhaps people will stop treating him as being so lackluster and dull. It will show that he means business. I'm guessing that we're going to be hearing more of this kind of thing in the near future from Keir Starmer. He does have a bit of a problem with his appearance, and the perception of him is not very positive. If he can talk like a soldier and announce that he's riding roughshod over the British Constitution and ordering judges about, he might look like a go-getting and vigorous kind of politician, a worthy successor to Churchill, perhaps.